online virtual tutorial. My name is Jeffrey, and today I'll be speaking about filing PIREPs with our Crew Center. First of all, you'll want to log into our Crew Center. As you can see on my screen, I'm on the dashboard. Then you will go to the left menu, click Flight Operations, and click File Manual PIREP. For the purpose of this video, I'll use an example flight from Dallas-Fort Worth to Miami. So first, you'll want to select the airline you flew with. As you can see, American is at the top, and at the bottom are all our codeshare partners. Since this flight is an American Airlines operated flight, we will choose American Airlines. The flight number for this flight, you just want to include the number and any letter that follows the flight number. Do not include the airline code. So for this flight, we will be using flight 2049C. If you put AA 2049C, that will be incorrect and the system will not read it. Next, you want to select your departure airport. So you can either scroll down to Dallas-Fort Worth, or you can use your device's search feature and search the airport's ICAO. So Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. And the same thing for the arrival airport. The search feature is only accessible on computers, so if you're on a mobile device, you'll just have to scroll down to the airport. And for the arrival airport, it's Miami. Next, you want to select the aircraft you chose. For this flight, we used the Airbus A321. As you can see, there are many A321s, one for each codeshare partner that operates it. Again, since this is an American Airlines flight, we will select the one that corresponds to our American aircraft, which is November 103, November. If it does not have an airline code next to it, that means it's an American aircraft. Next, we will select the flight type. For this purpose, for this video, we'll pretend this was a route of the week, meaning we can use a 1.5 times multiplier, a 1.5 times multiplier for the time. Then on fuel used, you will write this number in kilograms. So if your game is set to pounds, you'll just have to convert. Let's just pretend we used 1,754. In the flight time, you will have to enter the flight time using a decimal instead of a colon. So let's pretend the flight time was 3 hours, 9 minutes. And the distance was, let's say it was about 1,345 nautical miles. Distance will always be nautical miles. Now, since this was a route of the week flight, you can use a 1.5 multiplier on the time. So in order to convert this, first you have to convert this to minutes. So we have 3 hours times 60 minutes, and just add 9 to that. First you convert to minutes, then you multiply by 1.5. 283.5 minutes. You can round this up to 284. Now, 284 minutes, you'll have to convert that back to hours and minutes. So 4 hours would be 240 minutes. And since we had 284, you will need an additional 44. So it'll be 4 hours and 44 minutes. And in the comment section, you'll want to include the multiplier that you used. So we will say 3 hours, 9 minutes original time, parentheses, 1.5 times route of the week multi. And that's all you need. Now let's say, for example, this was an event where you can use a 2 times miles multiplier. You will have to take the miles count, 1345, and simply multiply by 2, 2690. An event would also have a 2 times multiplier on the flight time, but we will leave it as that. Should you have any questions, please proceed to our support channel on Slack. Hopefully this clears up any questions you might have. And thank you for listening.